Sorry for like the pretty bad lighting right now. It's pretty late right now. Well, it's 7 o'clock, but like late as in like it's dark outside. So the only lighting that we have is that light up there. And yeah, but the point is we're gonna be doing a story time video, and this is going to be a like whole series in my mind at least. I have a lot of stories that I want to share, and of course I am open to any story time ideas because I really need those ideas. Like if you guys want to comment down your ideas or really anything at all, because I really like reading the comments, believe it or not, whether they're bad or good. I enjoy reading them. And then also, there's any guys watching this and you see like my Rams shirt, okay, this is not your favorite football team. That's okay. You do you. I am not going to be like arguing with any guys over like what football team is better because I've seen that, and it's like there's been guys who have literally told me like, why do you wear a Rams shirt? You don't even know who the quarterback is. And yes, I do know who the quarterback is, by the way. But I do not need to know every single team player to know like to be able to support the team. This is my dad's favorite team, and I have gone to their games and I watch the games on TV as well. And like, why not like support them? You get me? Anyways, that's not the point, obviously. This is the second time I'm filming this, by the way, because I do rant, as you can see, a lot, and I'm really trying not to. As you can see by the title, this video is like 7 times or 6 times that I fainted. I can't exactly like, I don't remember that well. I've written down most of them on here so I don't forget any, or at least I try not to forget any of them. A lot of my friends know this because I've texted them like right after like I fainted, like if it was recently, like, oh my god, I just fainted yesterday, or this just happened to me like 2 hours ago. And so like they know, but this goes way back, like fourth grade. Like that's how kind of long ago it's been. I had We were in the middle of some like rehearsal for a Christmas show, and all of a sudden, like I just like felt like my vision just went blank. Like let me just show you how like what I kind of mean. Like you see how my hands right here, and it just like you slowly doing anything. So I flipped the camera on accident, but you see like that's what I mean. Like literally everything just like closed in on me, and I just felt dizzy at the same time. And I stood there. We were like on bleachers, so obviously I wasn't going to risk like moving when I couldn't see. So all of a sudden, like I was able to, like my vision, was back, and I was able to like quickly like walk down like the bleachers, like saying like excuse me, sorry. And I told my teacher. She quickly took me to the nurse. My mom picked me up and took me to the clinic. And at the clinic, they asked me a lot of questions like, what did you eat for breakfast or lunch? And of course, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But for me, for some reason, like I just for some reason can't comprehend that. So it's definitely my fault. Like a lot of the times, before going to school, I just eat a quick bowl of cereal and leave. Some people don't even eat like breakfast like at all. So at the same time, it's probably because I'm more like fragile, I guess, or delicate. Because I remember like my sister would not eat like anything until like an hour later. But even if I ate like a bowl of cereal, at least like before going to school, for some reason like these things happen to me. But anyways, for like a whole week, the doctors from the clinic had put like this thing. I don't know what it's called, but basically how my mom would describe it is a like camera that's inside of your stomach, and it like basically films everything that you've been eating for the whole week. And it's just like how they had expected. It was I didn't eat a good breakfast. And so after that, it didn't happen anymore for like that whole year and for 5th grade and until like 6th grade, I think it was, where suddenly I was in the bathroom and like again the same thing, the vision just like everything just turned black, and I just fell because when I faint, and I'm pretty sure this is how it is for a lot of people who have gone through the same thing. Like you literally all your energy just goes from like 100 to like negative something fast. Like you can no longer like you don't have enough energy to like stand or even talk or like open your eyes. Like I could hear like my parents talking, but like I for some reason can't talk back or like open my eyes and say like yes, like I hear you. And then but this time that I was like in the bathroom, I as soon as like I was able to once again see and like get at least some bit of like energy again, I opened the door and the first person that was there was my brother, who was probably like 8 or 7 at the time, I think. And like I told him like, please Benjamin, could you please tell like mom and dad that like I'm fainting. He was just there playing with his cards, like he didn't know what was going on. And like I don't blame him. Like I know he was still little, I guess, to like fully understand what was going on. So I had to like walk to like my parents like all like dizzy and stuff and like telling them like, hey, I'm fainting, and it they quickly like put me like on a chair and then tried to like with like a paper plate to um like for some air. And then like after a while I was able to like wake up. So it wasn't that bad, I guess, like from afterwards. Oh my god, you're about to see. Another time we were at Costco and we had just gotten back into the car, and that all I ate that morning was a McMuffin from like McDonald's. And suddenly I felt like dizzy, and again like it just I quickly like had fainted. And it's because I didn't drink any liquids. Like that's probably like the worst thing you can do for like a breakfast. If you eat something, you also have to like accompany it with water, milk, apple juice, orange juice, anything really. So I can at least you can at least have a basic amount of energy for your whole day. And then another time, I these last times that I'm pointing them out, I can't exactly remember like how old I was, what year, grade. It's just kind of all over the place. But I remember this time I was at home and it was like I didn't like I had fainted again, and I believe it was because I just didn't eat anything, and then or I ate something, but again I didn't accompany it with any liquid. So, but it was weird because this time, usually I would wake up in like another like 2 minutes or something, but this time like I simply like my energy was completely gone, and for a long time also. And as like my parents kept telling me, Andrea, I was out, and they had to call 911 at this point. And by the time like we got to like the hospital, and like doctors and nurses have a lot to do. They have so many patients to take care of, and especially if they're like in an emergency room. And like I know like my situation wasn't like something like really crazy, so it wasn't a big deal for them to make me wait. But I did wait quite a long time, like probably 40 minutes or something or more. So by the time they came in, like it seemed like nothing had happened to me. Like I was awake, like smiling again and everything. But then they asked the same question that the people had asked me at the clinic back in 4th grade. And again, my same response was like, oh, I just ate like cereal or something. And they told me, like, no, you have to eat a good breakfast. Like, A really good breakfast is something that would include different parts of the food group or whatever it's called, like this. And obviously, I wasn't following those rules. And then later on, it was probably like eighth grade or something, and I'm not sure if to like basically how much I want to talk about this because I know there might be any guys like watching this, or I don't really know if you even care, but okay, girls go through this one thing that happens like every month, and it's horrible, and that involves cramps, and that is horrible pain. And for me, it's always the worst because it's so bad to a point where I faint. Yeah. If I was just fainting before because I didn't eat anything, if I did not eat anything and I was going through these horrible cramps, not only was I having the hugest pain, but all of a sudden I would faint as well. And this was the first time that this had happened was at Walmart. And it was weird because this has never happened to me, even though I had already like experienced cramps a long time ago. It had been years before this incident, and lucky for us, we were like right in like the like right where the pharmacy place was at in Walmart. So and there was a doctor right there. So my mom had asked like, what do you recommend for my daughter? Because this is the first time for us. We were already getting used to like me fainting before, but like with all this pain, like my mom was seeing me, not just like with my eyes closed, but also like sweating like crazy, super pale. My lips had no color. Basically, I was just pale and sweating like so much, as I said. And the solution to this was a pill called Mito. And I never like had been used to swallowing pills, so it was very hard. And I always tried to avoid it. And I know my friend Carissa always tells me this, like to not avoid them. She's always like watching out for me and always telling me like, no, Andrea, you have to take the pill. So I'm really trying these times. And but like then it was very hard for me. Like not only was it hard to just take the pill, but also it's hard to just do anything at all with this huge amount of stomach pain, like so bad. And like I couldn't move, like it was so bad. And eventually after like 40 minutes of dealing with this pain, like somehow, some way, one way or another, I took the pill and felt better after like 20 minutes because it takes a while, like when you have so much pain, to go from like 100 down to zero pain. And another time, with my amount of luck, it happened on the day I'm making quinceañera. I had just woken up, and as soon as I woke up, it was time to take a shower. As soon as I got out of the shower, time to do my hair. And a lot of like, if you had a quinceañera, you know how stressful and like how quick like you have to do everything. Like you don't get time to eat like at all. Like if you didn't get time to eat in the morning, you're done for the rest of the day. Like it's very hard because you also have to greet guests and all that. But for me, I wasn't able to like eat breakfast, and my uncle was curling my hair, and at first like I felt heat on like my forehead, and I thought like, okay, maybe it's just a curling iron. But then suddenly I started sweating, and then I felt dizzy, and yeah, I told my uncle. He took me to the kitchen, and my mom started giving me food, and the all like the family that was there that day, they all were extremely worried, and they thought the party was over. But for us, since this was our second time happening, we were kind of like professionals. We even well, at least my mom and my dad, because for me like no matter how many times it happens, like you don't want it to happen ever. Like I hate it. And worse that if I really felt like it was the end for me because my stomach was so much pain. And after a long time, finally able to swallow that pill that I despise so much. And then the rest, it took me a while, like, to, like, because I was still pale for, like, a good, like, hour or so. But for the rest of the day, like, it seemed like nothing had happened. And another time was I had, basically, I think I'm going to skip this one because I already mentioned it in my scholarship rants video, which I know you don't expect to hear a fainting story in that video, but trust me, you should watch it. And then this was the last time that has happened so far, and this was literally a week before I had moved in here to on campus, and my parents were at work during this time. I just got out of the shower like really fast because I already knew it was happening. I already felt myself sweating, and I, even though I just had like a shower with like cold water, you'd think like you wouldn't think that you'd be sweating like crazy. And I quickly just put whatever clothes on, even though I was soaked and sweating. Ran out, and I told my sister what was happening, and she's she is just like my mom. Like, they kind of already know what to do. I basically also try to guide her, like, hey, like, help me, like, lie down because I couldn't even do it myself. Like, it's so bad. And like, I just hold on to like my stomach like this the entire time, like, so bad. Like, I wish, like, well, I don't wish this on anybody, but like, it would be easier to explain, and more, there would be more suspense if you knew like how bad it was. And I was just like on the floor, like, again, still sweating for a long time. And my sister had, I had also like, basically like lost like vision again, but it only lasted like a couple minutes. But the pain lasted for probably like an hour or more. And turned out the Mino pill that I've been using for this entire time was had been expired on the day that I needed it. And all there was like an Advil, so it was much less. It takes a lot longer time to really like work and or help. So like, I had to deal with the pain for a lot longer time than expected. And that was basically it. Um I that week, like, we started having feeling like more calm. My dad started feeling more calm because he gets worried anytime this happens to me, and he's happy that I have like a roommate this time, so it's much less he's much less worried that if this happens to me again, that I won't be like alone. Like, lucky for me, I had Gabby, and I really need help when like these things happen. Because if I can barely like move and I'm like on the floor like this, like, I definitely need that help. And but lucky, not lucky for me, but I should have been doing this since the beginning. I have, I am trying, really trying to eat as much as possible, drink lots of water, of course, and just take care of myself as well. What the doctors have told me is to like take the Mito pill like at a specific time during the month to like prevent all these things from happening and just making my life more miserable than it has to be. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the story time. I'm so sorry. This is longer than the last time that I filmed this. Oh my god. But I hope that it's more louder also. Why is it so long?